Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the latest edition of Wow, Lynch, Wow, dedicated to filmmaker David Lynch and inspired by the triumphant return of Twin Peaks. A friendly warning to everyone who isn't caught up on all 10 episodes of the new season of Twin Peaks. There will be spoilers and they will begin shortly, so viewers and listeners be warned. So, a lot of fans have been talking about Miriam's letter. I probably never would have picked up on this myself, but a lot of fans have mentioned that the letter Chad grabbed was one for Miriam Hodges, and in the credits, the actress is listed as Miriam Sullivan. This begs the question, did Chad grab the wrong letter? It's possible that maybe Miriam is recently divorced and legally hasn't changed her name back yet. Lynch and Frost have been known to enjoy name play. Would they take it to this extent? I don't know. It's possible that another Miriam may have written a letter around the exact same time. But how many Miriams do we have in Twin Peaks? And what are the odds that two of them are sending letters to the same place at the same time? But maybe Chad did grab the wrong letter. The mailman looked as if he was about to hand Chad another pile of mail, but then the mailman eyed Chad suspiciously, and why wouldn't the mailman be suspicious? We know that Chad doesn't make a habit of bringing the mail inside because Lucy had to remind Chad that the mailman would bring the mail inside himself. It definitely looks as if the mailman was grabbing more mail, possibly for Chad. Maybe he did get the wrong Miriam, and the letter from Miriam that matters is still in the other stack of mail. But the mailman, until he became suspicious and was dismissively waved off by Chad, the mailman may have been ready to hand him some more mail. But even if Chad wasn't dumb enough to grab the wrong letter, he still underestimated our beloved Lucy, who was clearly onto him. Lucy has always had great instincts at growing suspicious at opportune moments. And she also tends to be overjoyed whenever she gets the opportunity to be the first to break news to people. So you can bet it won't be long before she tells Andy and Hawk and at least one of the Trumans. And then I suppose that there are also the possibilities that the letter wasn't delivered on the same day, or that maybe Miriam mailed it directly to the home address of one of the Trumans. But regardless of whether Chad grabbed the right letter or not, I imagine his treachery will be uncovered before long, and that this will likely start a dominoes effect that exposes his crooked ways. Now, we didn't see Bad Coop in Part 10, but we still got some reveals about his character. The first pertained to Diane, and this happened just after Gordon Cole had a weird vision of Laura Palmer. Albert informs him about the text Diane received that read, "Around the dinner table, the conversation is lively." Tammy had traced this to a server in Mexico, and Diane responded with the heavily encrypted message, "They have Hastings. He's going to take them to the site." Gordon says, "I felt it when she hugged me, but this confirms it." So they're assuming Diane is working with Bad Coop. And then Tammy enters the room, and she shows them this pic of Bad Coop and an unknown mystery man by the glass box in New York. As our favorite special agent once said long ago, when two things happen simultaneously pertaining to the same object of inquiry, we must pay special attention. So Cole has a vision of Laura Palmer, then he gets news confirming his suspicions about Diane, which leads him to believe she's working with Bad Coop, before finally getting the news that Bad Coop and some mystery man, that they have ties to whatever happened to poor Sam and Tracy. When I first saw Diane receive the text in Part 9, I was immediately convinced she was in cahoots with Bad Coop. And I thought the same thing immediately following Part 10. But thinking about it a bit more, I'm not so sure. Maybe Diane is also working against Bad Coop, independent of Cole and his team. and she just hasn't told them that whole story yet. Her strong emotional responses to seeing Bad Coop in the jail, those seemed genuine, and they seemed predicated on some horrific memories. It's possible that Diane is working with someone else looking to track down Bad Coop. Maybe the guy Bad Coop mistakenly believed was Philip Jeffries. We still don't know who that man was, and we still don't know anything about the mystery man in this photo. I've always assumed that Tammy Preston was basically a good character. But then again, for the longest time I thought the same thing about Josie Packard. I have no reason to believe that Tammy isn't basically good. Cole has a lot of faith in her. She seems to be a hard worker who's highly intelligent, and she has a mesmerizing hypnotic walk. But what if Tammy isn't what she seems? After all, Tammy was the source of the information implicating Diane. Could Tammy possibly be feeding Cole and Albert bad information? I think this is a possibility. Let's not forget that Denise wasn't overly fond of Cole's alliance with Tammy. Cole and Preston looked like they may have even been a bit more than professional colleagues when the two of them were staking out Albert and Constance. And we have no reason to believe that Denise's instincts about anything are anything short of impeccable. The fact that Denise doesn't seem to trust Tammy, and the fact that Gordon and her may be more than just mere colleagues, I think there's a possibility that Tammy could be using her womanly wiles to hoodwink an unsuspecting Gordon Cole. Although, Tammy did discover the oddity with the fingerprints on Cooper, and her revealing that discovery to Cole suggests that her motives might be pure. But all the same, something seems a little off about Tammy, and the fact that we're being so strongly led to believe that Diane is in cahoots with Bad Coop, this all has me wondering if maybe we don't have this all entirely wrong, and that Tammy isn't the one with devious ulterior motives. After all, when two things happen simultaneously pertaining to the same object of inquiry, we must pay special attention. That's all I got. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Hope you all enjoyed, everyone, and have a great night.